Sleep is everything, and we're gonna fix that stuff for you right now, baby. Let's go. What's going on, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Wokefit. Thank you for tuning in. If you find this video helpful, please do me a favor, mash the subscribe button, tick the bell, and if this is helpful, please feel free to share this with any one of your friends. This isn't necessarily for someone who's a physique athlete. This is literally for anyone who's having any kind of trouble sleeping. So without further ado, let's get into it, baby. Always got to preface with this. Obviously, I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is for pure entertainment value. Always, before trying anything, consult your doctor, consult your physician. Don't listen to a word I say. I'm just an accountant, so that's me. So first off, let's cover what not to do. So when you think of sleep problems, sleep troubles, everyone goes to the local pharmacy and they grab some melatonin. No! What people don't realize is that melatonin is actually a hormone. So if you take a hormone like melatonin, your brain is going to naturally produce less of its own natural melatonin. So the only times you should ever consider taking melatonin are if you work a night shift job, or if you're like severely jet lagged from a flight. Those might be the only two times to consider taking melatonin. But otherwise, dodge melatonin at all costs. You're just gonna form a habit where you're gonna need it because your brain won't produce its own natural melatonin. However, if you would like a natural alternative to like one of these pill, chemical, whatever melatonins, consider taking tart cherry juice. Now, not just the juice that's meant for drinking. This is like a thick, syrupy, red juice that is a natural source of melatonin. It's derived from those tart cherries. So 1 or 2 of tablespoons of that, you know, an hour before bed, should get you feeling pretty nice. As for your caffeine usage, try to do your best to cut off your caffeine at 3, maybe 4 p.m. at the latest. Caffeine's half-life is about 6 hours, something like that. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. As with anything I say in this video, do your own research. That's the most important thing, and find out what works for you. But for me, that 3 or 4 p.m. mark, hitting that last cup of coffee, or my only cup of coffee for the day, because I really try to be smart about my caffeine usage, time it before the workout and not just drinking it recklessly all day. 3 or 4 p.m. will get you going to the gym at, you know, between 5 and 6 p.m. feeling nice, and you should be able to get some decent sleep at night. Which brings me into my next point. Here's a supplement. Like I said, not a doctor. This is for entertainment. Consult your doctor if you do anything. GABA is a great supplement, G-A-B-A. So what's interesting is I'm gonna butcher the crap out of this science here right now. I'm not a scientist, not a doctor, bear with me. So when you consume caffeine, that inhibits your uptake of GABA, which is why people, when they drink caffeine, they get like the handshakes. Or funny and interestingly enough, if you get really drunk, and you might see people that are like withdrawing from alcohol, because when you are consuming alcohol, one of the things that alcohol in the interim term will increase your dopamine, which makes you feel good, and it will increase your GABA, which is why people, when they're really intoxicated, they're actually slurring their speech. That's because their GABA is very up through the roof. GABA basically calms down, makes the nervous system slow down. So, whereas caffeine does the same thing, it inhibits your GABA uptake. That's why people might get shaky hands, get anxiety from caffeine. On days that you train, let's say you have that caffeine, the coffee at 3 or 4 p.m., you go to the gym, consider taking a supplement called GABA, which the idea of taking a GABA or something like that is going to be try to negate these effects of the caffeine that'll get you sleeping. Back on the topic of melatonin, so if you work one of these 8 to 5, 9 to 5 office jobs, and you're under the bright fluorescent lights all day, and you're staring at screens all day, that's actually going to mess up your brain's natural melatonin production. So something I would definitely recommend is picking up a set of blue light reflecting glasses. That's going to negate some of those effects. Additionally, so our nervous systems are just constantly turned up. We have televisions, computers, laptops, phones, Netflix, all this stuff is just constant bombardment on our nervous systems. So you might want to consider taking a supplement that's called RNA, ribonucleic acid. It's basically like food for your nervous system. Doctors, most people who have like sleep apnea, they get misdiagnosed and they say that they have obstructive sleep apnea, where in most cases, actually it's not obstructive, it's nervous system sleep apnea, because our brains are just charged up all the time. And like I've said, consider taking a supplement called RNA. Do your own research, don't listen to me. YouTube is great, learn some stuff. And as always, you've probably heard this many times before. Make sure you have sleeping in a cold, dark room. Get some blackout curtains. Blackout curtains are awesome. Sleep with a fan on. If you need any sort of white noise, consider picking up a cheap white noise machine off of Amazon, or if you have a HEPA filter or something like that. Very important as well. We want to make sure all the lights in the room are off. If you have a clock, face that on its head. Any sort of lights, block them off, tape them off, do whatever you have to do to make that room completely dark and completely cold. Because, you know, people back in the day, we used to sleep in the caves, baby. That's when we were getting that best sleep, is when we were just the cavemans chilling without iPhones and stuff. So do that. And probably my 2 favorite go-to sleep things. Always got to save these for last. Well, let's say it's 3 things, okay? Chamomile tea, pretty cheap, pretty cool. Drink it an hour or 2 before bed. It's gonna chill you the F out. And the 2 most important things that I really enjoy, really helpful. I have this mat that I lay on now. I'm not sponsored by anything like this. You can find them, search on Amazon, you'll find them. The one that I use is called a Shakti mat, S-H-A-K-T-I. But I've seen all these brands knockoffs, so I don't know which one is the original one. But basically it simulates a bed of nails. It's basically has all these plastic prongy things. You lay on this thing for 10-20 minutes or so. It's basically going to turn your brain off. The first minute on the mat, it might sting a little bit, but after that you just get this warm sensation. It's basically like meditation for people that don't know how to meditate. It's really freaking awesome. You just lay on it and this thing will turn your brain off. And combined with that, interestingly enough, that we're on YouTube watching this video right now, you can go on YouTube and type in and search sleep music, calming music, delta wave sleep music, anything like that. Search that up, and if you have a speaker or something like that you can Bluetooth up, get the speaker popping. They have these tracks that are basically 8 hours long, 10 hours long, and those, when I put those on at night while I'm sleeping, I find those just kind of help ease the brain, ease the nervous system. And yeah, so that's basically it. Let me grab my phone out, get my list of everything, just to recap everything real quick for y'all. So, in conclusion, I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me. This is for entertainment purposes only. Do not take melatonin. Definitely don't do that. No caffeine past 3 or 4 p.m. Occasionally, if you want to try to take some tart cherry juice, it's more of a natural form of melatonin, but don't take that stuff every day. I wouldn't advise on that. Chamomile tea is awesome. Make sure you're sleeping in a cold, dark room. Get the blackout curtains. Make sure you have no lights. I didn't mention this one earlier. Set a reverse alarm. So if you want to go to bed at 10 p.m., set an alarm for 8 p.m. After 8 p.m., no electronics. Turn all the electronics off. No more Netflix. Like, just save the Netflix for Sunday or Saturday. Like, just don't do it. It's gonna affect your sleep. YouTube, delta waves music, along with laying on the Shakti mat. That is friggin' awesome. If you work one of these jobs where you're at your computer all day, got under the blue fluorescent lights, you're gonna wanna get some blue light reflecting glasses. Consider looking into a supplement that's called RNA. It's food for your nervous system. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research and consult your physician. And if you potentially want to consider taking a supplement called GABA on the days where you have your caffeine, your cup of coffee before going to the gym at 3 or 4 p.m. So yeah, basically that's it. This is all the tips and all the strategies that I teach all the people that work with me. as we all know, sleep, most people don't really get the best quality of sleep. And when you can sleep and wake up feeling energized, you will be much more consistent with your training, with your nutrition. It's just easy to do things when you feel awesome. So you'll crush your day, crush your workouts, and just ultimately have a better life. So, hope you guys found that video helpful. If you are a young, career-driven man working one of these 8 to 5, 9 to 5 accounting jobs, and you would like to build that head-turning physique without living in the gym, shoot me a comment below on this video saying, I'm interested. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. My tag is at Wokefit, W-O-K-E-F-I-T. And I'll hit you back up. We'll see if and how I can help you. Let's get it, baby. Stay woke.